Hi people, welcome to UK Jazz Dance. I'm the first dancer who's going to give people an insight into my life behind UK Jazz Dance. What drove me to develop my own styles, etc, etc. What drove me to develop my own styles was the culture, that was the custom of this art form. What we did, our parents brought us up to find our own voice. The art form was created for us to find our own voice, to show our own creativity, our self-expression. But we had been growing up like that as early learning as a person. Now what happened as an individual, I had an aspiration to be a jazz dancer. That's what I wanted to be from early learning. Not as a job, but as part of a career. I wanted to be a barrister, I wanted to be a cricketer. Part of chilling out, I was going to choreograph pieces. I saw jazz dance on television, saw Top of the Pops. I decided musicals had a very much impact to me, like young girls wanted to be ballet dancers, I wanted to be a jazz tap dancer in cabaret. Okay. Now what happened was my incentive to be a barrister was lost, and then I decided I wanted to be a pilot. Now to be a pilot, one of the key things, like a barrister, I had to learn to fly solo. Again, I wanted to be I'm going to learn to dance as part of my aspiration. This is how UK Jazz Dance evolved. Many people don't know that I always wanted to be a jazz dancer, but never to be a full-time jazz dancer. It was to be my hobby and career. What happened was, how it got nurtured was, people tried to kill me as a person, and basically I ended up in the Caribbean because of it. Basically in my primary school, they put my head down the toilet, I choked, I passed out. The culprits left me in the toilet seat. A teacher found me and they took me to the nurse's office, and I was there all day. That's where I talked about the incident, and then he passed out and he died. My parents found out about it. They took me to the Caribbean, where I went there for rehabilitation. Essentially, when I came back, I got a rehabilitation counsellor. I got private lessons for that person with special education. Basically, I got a lot of support in my rehabilitation back into life at school as a person who was written off. As an individual, I used dance to overcome shyness. New trade, new career aspiration was to be an RAF pilot, officer pilot, then to be in the Red Barons, and then to be a commercial pilot. So I always had aspirations, and what I wanted to do chilling out was the whole thing to do jazz, dance, etc. Now what happened was, as a person, I was very shy, very fearful. I had social phobias. Partly that was to do with dyslexia, partly because I had the gene from my parents, shy gene, partly because I've been bullied extremely badly. That made me timid, made me fearful, made me have self-doubts. The society made me have self-doubts because a lot of negative images were spread about black people, black and white minstrel show, books about blacks being negative, blacks seen as inferior. The school I went to was an all-white school that treated me as inferior. When they found out I had low IQ, I was written off in the school. I was the one I had to really brace myself to say, I can learn, I can do what I'm doing, because people wrote me off as incapable of leading myself and leading others. And then the irony of my situation was, the dance, UK Jazz Dance, led to me leading myself, because I created my own play, and then eventually leading others as an individual, and then becoming a leading representative of the school in sense of performing arts and sports. I didn't excel in the school in 3 hours. I increased, I got better each year, but the areas where I excelled was I became a leading representative, not only of the school, but one of them in Manchester, in sense of sports, cricket and football, swimming. These areas I came a representative. I was seen as a shining, new, emerging leader in sports within the city, and that's one of the things I had. No one had ever done that as being a special education needs person. So I stood out the crowd as a bit of a celebrity. I won. I was a disco dance champion in the school, undefeated. I was undefeated in many things. Chess champion of the school, so I became the captain. Became the captain of the cricket team, vice captain of the football team. All was identified that I couldn't lead because I had special education needs, and I came from the slums of Manchester. My parents were educated, so there was a lot of stereotypes were spread and why I shouldn't be able to lead. Well, I broke them stereotypes in my primary and my secondary school. So I talk about incentive. UK Jazz Dance came a voice among my peers that gave me kudos. And what happened, a peer needs kudos among his friends. And then it came to be, gave me kudos among the dance world, because the dance world identified my art form